for joining us today, Miss Messmen. Today we have with us Miss Kainaz Messmen. She is the founder and owner of Theobroma, the very famous pastry shop. And thank you so much, ma'am, for joining me today on our podcast. I am very privileged to be talking to you.
Thank you, Pratna. Congratulations on your podcast and your many achievements. You're seriously going to go places. I've really admired your profile. You're really working hard and, you're ambitious. And I wish you all the best for everything that you are about to achieve. And you will achieve a lot, I have no doubt about it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I have a very common interest. I love baking, and I read about your story and how you got inspired from the small city in South France.
Yes.
And when I was in around like 6th grade, I was very bored then, so I just started watching. I remember searching up the first thing. I was very interested in knowing how a rainbow cake is made, so I searched it up on YouTube, and then I just got into an endless spiral of watching YouTube baking videos. And then since class 6, I bake almost every weekend. I baked last night, in fact.
That's fabulous. Do you put up pictures of what you're baking?
No, I mean, it's nothing great.
That's okay. It doesn't have to look great. It doesn't have to look professional. Everything is in the taste.
Yeah.
That's also a philosophy we live by the way, in Theobroma.
Yeah, so, but it looks great too. I remember, this is also when I was way younger. So I had bought a slice of the rainbow cake, and I clicked a picture of it, and I made it my profile picture and it was that for a lot of years, because I just thought it was a very cool looking picture. And there are just a lot of personal memories attached to it.
Thank you. That's exactly what we wanted also. Theobroma was never intended to become a big corporate company, and it was never intended to, be 50 cafes or whatever. We just wanted a small neighborhood shop. And so if you see our locations that we have picked, they are also in small locations. Of course, a few are in the main shopping street and some malls today. But when it started, they were all in small neighborhood localities, and we still today, open stores there.
Like the outlet, I recall most of my memories is the Defense Colony outlet. It's hidden in the market. It's a small, cute outlet, and we go there sometimes at night just for a drive to eat a piece of brownie.
Thank you.
I was very keen on interviewing you, because it's been a part of my life for very long, and then it's great honor knowing that it was your little baby.
Thank you. I'm glad I could be a part of this interview.
Since you were a child, since you grew up in a Parsi family, and Parsis are huge on food, and baking and food has always been your hobby, and you enjoyed it. So how did you manage to turn it into such a big, successful thing?
So I think initially I never intended it to be a job or, a company or whatever. I always wanted to be a lawyer and leave baking as part of my hobby. But of course, my year in France as a Rotary Youth Exchange student changed all that. And I think that was when I really decided that, it will be, we'll turn it in, that I wanted to be a chef. I didn't know at that point whether I would be in business or work for someone. And then, I was very happy working at, my Oberoi group of hotels. I was doing really well in the company. And then a back accident forced me to rethink my life, where the doctor said, okay, you can't be a chef anymore. But I could not imagine doing anything else besides being a chef. And so that's when I decided that, no, this is going to be my career, and I'm going to make something come what may. And I have to figure out a way where I don't hurt my back, but at the same time, I'm still always a chef. And all the doctors had said, I'm sorry, you can't be a chef anymore. And that was not acceptable to me. So I just try to figure out something, and the rest is history.
Yes, and it like the career path that you are in. It's a very humbling job because it feels so like I just do it for fun. But every Sunday evening when I bake and I take it to school and I share it with my friends and teachers, seeing them enjoy it, and same for your job, like seeing people enjoy what you like. It has a whole that level of happiness.
It makes it all worth it. It makes it all worth it.
Exactly.
All the effort. It makes everything worth it when you see people enjoy your food, because food is meant to be enjoyed and it's always meant to be shared. And food makes people happy. So really, your job is to make people happy. You speak to my sister, she always tells me, you're not in the business of making food, you're in the business of making people happy. So you have to do what it takes to make people happy. So that kind of keeps me going. And also the reactions that I have got over the years, with the food, it's really, that is what has kept me going.
Yeah. And it's something people bond over. Like
absolutely,
it creates those experiences.
Yes.
And that's why I connected with it. It's like I can resonate with what you're saying so much, because your thing which you started a few years just as your hobby, it's something my friends and I bond over, and it's like it's a thing of how we tell each other by giving each other brownies that on a special occasion. And like this one I've kept because there's a note written on it, that's why. So yeah, I can understand what you mean.
Thank you.
So ma'am, according to you, since you're a very successful woman entrepreneur, what according to you are the secrets, your secrets to being a good entrepreneur?
So I think the first thing is that, when you have a business idea, you just have to get going. I think a lot of people, when they have really good ideas, but, they are unable to turn it into a business because they are waiting for the perfect opportunity. So they want the timing to be perfect. They want, everything to be set up right from day one. They say, oh, I want this much valuation of a company. I want my company to be this big. So they wait for the perfect moment and then start the business. And by then, many years have gone by, or someone else has taken your idea and started a business. So I think the first thing that entrepreneurs should do is to start. But when you start, always start the way you intend to keep your business in the long term. So don't start, say, with the highest standards possible, which you will not be able to maintain forever. You should start with how you intend to run your business forever. And that may change, but at least your vision will be clear and it will keep bringing you back and keep you grounded to where you want to go. So I think that is very important. You should maintain quality because that is the single, whatever your business is, whatever your product is, it doesn't matter. But maintaining quality, which may sound simple enough, it is not simple. It is never a destination. Like you can never say, okay, today I have maintained quality and I'll never have to look at it again. It doesn't work like that. Especially in the food business, or actually any product business, you must be able to maintain. Quality is always a work in progress. So every single day, today, even after 16 years of baking brownies, we check our quality of brownie every single day. Every single day we check for sensory analysis, the way it looks, the way it appears, the way it looks after it's cut, after it's cooled, whilst it's hot, if you heat it up, everything is checked. So I think maintaining quality, I spend most of my time on it. It's a very frustrating job because it's never ending. You can never say I've got the perfect quality, but you have to just keep at it and try and improve every day. So I think that is also important. You have to also be prepared to work incredibly hard. What may seem like an overnight success, that, oh wow, in such a short time, in 5 years or 6 years, this person has built such a big company. you probably don't realize, but probably behind it there are years and years of hard learning, studying, following your dreams, a lot of hard work, a lot of team effort. There's a lot of hard work in every success. I don't think any success is easily earned, and even if it is, then it won't be it'll be short-lived. So you have to really work hard. And I think the other thing you have to do is be true to your vision and yourself. So always do what you think is the right thing to do. Sometimes that's not an easy option also. Sometimes you have to take the more difficult option, especially to do the right thing, but eventually it pays off. So I think that's probably my tips too.
And ma'am, like you said, like quality to still this date, like it's a very renowned name, but the thing that it maintains that's why the Theobroma brownies are those iconic Theobroma brownies, because you have that approach of making sure they stay like that. And okay, so ma'am, if you had to define the term Supergirl, how do you define it? And like another fellow chef, I'm sure you've heard of him, Mr. Zorawar Kalra. He spoke at school once, and he said this one thing which stuck with me, that find something you enjoy and find a way how to make money out of it, and you will be set for life. And that line really, it stuck with me, because he took what he enjoyed and he made a very successful business out of it, and so did you. And so according to me, you both are super people. So what do you think, according to you, how would you define the term?
I think I would boil it down to confidence. A confident person is a super person, because it doesn't have to be that you are overtly ambitious and you have to create a big business. I have said this many times over in my career. A big business does not equal to a good business. If your business, if you want to build a small company, by all means do it, because there are very many profitable small companies rather than big companies that are not profitable. So do as much or as little as you want to, but do what you want to do, not what you think others want you to do, or not what you think that the world wants you to do. And just have the confidence and be true to who you are. And I think that will always create a winning formula.
Yeah, like quality over quantity.
That's right.
Yeah. So, ma'am, anyways, being a woman in today's world isn't an easy task, and everything just comes a little harder to us. So, according to you, what in your field of work, what do you think there are the struggles that women face, and any personal experience of that?
I think in all businesses, but especially in the F&B business, it is disproportionately male dominated.
Male dominated.
But that's not only the case in India. It is a global problem. Well, I won't say it as a problem. It's just the way the industry has evolved. So it is a bit overwhelming. The kitchen is, a lot of people shy away from the kitchen. A lot of women shy away from the kitchen because it's physically exhausting. It's mentally draining. There are a lot of men around. But, I have never looked at it as a women versus male competition. I think what is important is that the male boys and girls, or male and female, have to learn to work side by side. I don't think it is not a woman problem. It's how you build a team. And I think it takes a good leader to bring out the best in each person. And, when the team works together, then you can actually achieve results. So instead of wasting time over fighting over who's superior and what can men do, what can't women do, I think it has to be a team effort. And a lot of people also shy away from asking for help. So there's nothing wrong in asking for help, whether you are a boy or a girl. If you need help, if you need encouragement or support, just ask for it, and your teammates will come together and give you that support. And I think that actually spells out a successful company, when the team actually works together and in cohesion, rather than male and women. So it is still difficult. It is probably more difficult now than before. But I think things are changing. Things are moving in the right direction. And I think our industry, the F&B industry in particular, is also realizing that. Today, you see more women in the kitchen. You see more women, wanting to be chefs. You see more women in offices. In the business, in the front line, back of the house, everywhere. So it's a good sign. I think it's positive, and I think it's changing. And hopefully we are on the right track.
Yes, I agree. You have to work as a team, because individually you can't achieve everything.
Exactly.
You have to learn how to work with everyone.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, ma'am, you recently came out with your book, Baking a Dream, a Theobroma Story, and many congratulations on that. So, how is the transition from being an entrepreneur to an author? And another added victory.
So again, like most of my career, I never wanted to be an author. I definitely didn't want to write a recipe book. And then when one small publishing house approached us, to write a story rather than a book, we thought it would be interesting. Only I didn't think that I was good enough to be a book author. I could write my thoughts and ideas, but to make it into a book required a different skill. And so I came together as a team with my sister, and we started. There was so much to tell, and we didn't know where to really start, but we started with what we knew. So we started writing a collection of small essays of certain events that had happened over the years, in our business. And then as we put those stories together, we discovered a flow, and then our publishers eventually became HarperCollins, and then they helped us along the way, and we had a good team that supported us, and so we managed to create a book.
I'm genuinely interested in knowing about you, because it's so inspiring to see that how, like, when you had that idea, 16 was the year that changed your life, and this year I'm turning 16.
Oh, wow.
So like it's very inspiring to see how you, and we have the exact same interest, and how you took your interest and turned it into something so big.
Thank you.
Even though it wasn't meant to be that, but it's a very well-renowned name.
Thank you so much, Pratna, and I really wish you the best of luck. I hope you find your passion at 16.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, so your company has a very innovative name. How did you come up with it? Is there like a special story behind it?
Yes, it's actually also part of the book, but I'll tell you the story. So my sister is a chartered accountant, and she was working for a brokerage firm in London. And Michael Dan was her superior, or her boss, and he was a sugar broker. And she just happened to mention to him that my sister is opening a patisserie in India, and he suggested the name Theobroma. And at that point of time, nobody had ever heard of Theobroma. Only people who had actually studied the process of chocolate had heard the name Theobroma, because it's also the botanical name of the cocoa tree. So Theobroma cacao is the botanical name of the cocoa tree, and it's a Greek word in origin. Theos meaning God, and broma meaning food. So when you put it together, it translates to food of the gods. And for us, it just kind of fit into our idea of what we wanted to do, and so it just seemed apt. And a lot of people, when we wanted to name it back in 2004, a lot of people told us that, oh, it's such a difficult name. It sounds like a chemical. Nobody is going to want to, come to a place that has such a scientific sounding name. And nobody's going to remember your name. So don't do it. But for us, it just felt right. So we rode against the tide, and it actually worked in our favor, because a lot of people had to put effort into remembering the name. And when they did, it kind of worked. It clicked for us because they never forgot it. And then, 6 months into opening our store, we had little kids at that time, 3 or 4 years old, coming and saying that, oh, I love Theobroma. And they actually remembered the name. So for us, then we realized that it was the correct decision for us.
Yeah, ma'am, like a few years ago, like exactly you said, like it was hard for me. When I discovered it, I couldn't remember the name. I never remember the name. I just remember that blue stall. So once in my brother and I, my younger brother, and that time, now he's a little older, but he was very young at that time. So we passed the store, and I knew the name then, but then he didn't. And then he also remembered it. And then he's like, oh, let's eat the brownies.
How sweet. How sweet. Great. I'm glad to know that.
So, ma'am, because of the current times, lot has changed, and it is unfortunate. But how is the pandemic changing the retail experience for you?
So I think the pandemic has been possibly the biggest setback our industry has ever faced. And it will probably be a few years before the industry as a whole recovers from it to some sort of recovery. I think a lot of businesses may not even survive this pandemic. It's a very difficult time. And I know that it's not that we alone are going through this. There are a lot of people that are going through this, and a lot of people are in worse state than us. But it's there's no joy in collective pain. It's still a very difficult time for our industry. But also, I think the mark of a good company is when you are able to adapt and remain agile, and adapt your business to your surroundings. And so that is what we have tried to do. There are 3 big concerns that remain during this pandemic for us. And number 1 is the safety of our employees, of our guests, and of our partners. I think that is very, very important to us. The other big challenge we face is that there's going to be a certain reduction. There is already a certain reduction in sales, because not as many people come to the stores as before, pre-COVID. And so we have to find ways to reach the product to them. And this poses a particular problem when you're trying to introduce new products to the market, because nobody orders a new product if they haven't seen it, or they haven't tasted it, or they haven't been up close with it. So there are a few challenges there. And I think the third biggest challenge is to reduce our fixed costs in terms of rents that we pay in big cities like Bombay and Delhi. They have historically been really crazy rents. So that is your biggest cost, and of course your employee cost is also very high. So we have to find ways to minimize employee costs, rent. All your fixtures, all your fixed costs have to come down. So these three things are really on everyone's mind, and we have to work towards it. So again, it's work in progress. I don't think it's going to come easily. I think it's a learning process. It's a brand new way of operating your business. And and I think first thing we're going to have to learn is how to keep our employees and our guests and our partners safe in hygienic conditions. we've always taken hygiene seriously, but this is at like a whole new level. So we have to be cognizant of that.
Yes, but if a company like yours, Theobroma, has it, it is such a well known, and it's a very personal part of a lot of people's lives. Just like I'm just a normal person in Delhi, but it is a huge part of my friends and I's life. Like, it's something we bond over, and I'm sure something like this that holds so much importance in people's life is not going to take time to come back, because a lot of memories are around that.
Thank you. We are trying. We are certainly trying, and of course, you know that we've reopened some of our stores, but you know, we are still working on things. We've come out with a limited lockdown menu. It's not the whole menu, and we are going to slowly start adding back things. So we'll see.
Yes, it will all be fine in the end.
Thank you for your confidence.
So, ma'am, entrepreneurship is a very exciting thing. It has its pros, it has its cons, and everyone talks about all the exciting parts of it. But what are some of the troubles which also you faced? Because it's not everything is not a joyride.
No, it's not. It's certainly not a joyride. I think, you know, one of the biggest things that you have to know, that not only is that you're going to have to work hard throughout your life. The truth is, and this is really without sugarcoating anything, it's not going to get easier. But problems that seem very big on one day, once you've had time to think about it and work through it, they somehow we find a solution and we move on. So I think, again, for me, entrepreneurship is something that did not come easy to me. I never thought or looked at myself as an entrepreneur. I only ever wanted to be a chef. So when I started my business, you know, I was a chef that knew how to bake cakes. I didn't know anything else about the business. But I soon realized that when you are an entrepreneur, you can't say that I am a chef, I know how to bake cakes, and I don't know how to do anything else. You have to be whatever your business requires you to be. So one day, if your business requires you to be a really hard boss and fire your employees, you have to take that decision. The other day, if it requires you to be a waiter, you can't say, I'm a chef, I'm never going to pick up someone else's dirty plates. You have to do it. The other day, if it requires you to, you know, be a cashier because your cashier hasn't shown up for work, so be it. You have to be a cashier that day. So I think being an entrepreneur is being whatever your business requires you to be at that moment for that time, and trying to solve whatever challenges are thrown at your way. So you can't get disheartened by a few bad days, a few bad times. You have to just keep at it, and some solution or the other will come up. So I don't think you have to learn how to be resilient.
And only somebody who can tackle all those challenges will stay at the end. They will be the last ones.
Well, yes, you have to, I think you don't have to solve every problem yourself, but you have to figure out a way to solve it. And, you know, use the people around you to their strengths, and work as a team. And you know, I think you just learn along the way. I certainly didn't know how to be an entrepreneur when I started this business, and I think after 15 years, I think I'm still learning. That's also what makes our job exciting. You can never get bored because you learn every day.
Yes. So, ma'am, who are some of your role models? And of course, I know that like the most inspiring thing for you was that one trip that changed your whole life around. Mm-hmm. But who are some of the people you look up to and they inspire you, and what are the qualities you admire in them?
So I think for me, you know, when children are small, especially girls when they are small, I think their role models are always, their fathers. Their first role model is always, your superhero is your dad. But I think for me, it was a little different. My first and only superhero has always been my mom. She is a super fighter. She's very strong. She ran her own business from home, working really, really hard. She would get up at 5 in the morning, work till 12 at night, and in between also find time to be a great mom and cook for us. She is loving and she's fun, and she also taught me to be resilient. On my worst days, when I thought I could not go ahead anymore, and I would just like fold up and stop working, and I didn't want to be part of the company. I just wanted to give up. She gave me the strength to carry on, and she's taught me how to tackle problems head on. And she's also taught me that I think every problem looks big on the day, and then when you think through it, when you slept over it, when you've worked through it, you get through. And then a few months later, you were like, why was I even worried about that problem? So I think she really taught me a lot, and I still look up to her. And then on the professional front, I think I've been very lucky to have great mentors. My first mentor was from the IHM Bombay, my teacher, Chef Coelho, who really taught me the basics in the kitchen. He taught me to walk and talk and behave like a chef, and of course, cook the basics. And then I had my chef at OCLD when I was part of the Oberoi Center of Learning and Development, Chef Barney. And I think on a global scale, I've obviously always admired, Pierre Hermé, Christophe Michalak, Yves Juriez, Raymond Blanc. These are really all my superheroes of food. And I have many. I mean, there are so many chefs that I really admire. The list can just go on. But these were, yes, my early influences.
So, ma'am, so far you've had a very huge career. It started from some place and now you are at a whole new level. So far, what do you think has been the most exciting and memorable experience? What is, if you had to recall one thing which is, you would say is the best thing that could have happened to you, the most memorable experience in your career so far?
To be honest, I think my book is filled with so many stories that have really shaped my company. And, a lot of people, think that, getting excited about the amount of shops that you open, or, the amount of sales you do in a particular day. These may excite most people, but for me, they are just numbers. I think there have been many people that for me have really had a significant impact, and whether they are guests, whether they have sometimes been guests, they have been suppliers, they have been my employees. They've started as business associates in some way or the other, but then they've become friends. And so I think these are the people that have really shaped my life and have impacted the way that we run Theobroma. And for me, those are the most beautiful memories. It's not about a particular thing, but it's my association with all these amazing people that I have met and have really stood by me, become my friends, become my confidants. And for me, that is special.
Yes, I agree. The people who make the journey exciting are the ones who matter, and it is human interaction, and especially in these times, there is nothing that matches that, the interaction you have with another person.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, ma'am, what is your advice to young girls my age, 15, 20-year-olds, on how to which is a very generic statement, but how to be successful in their lives?
I think you have to really, again, find something that you love. That is very important, and not love as a hobby. You don't necessarily have to know what you're going to end up doing, but you have to be really happy when you do that, or do whatever you decide to do. I think that is very important. The other thing I would tell young girls is really be prepared to work very, very hard. I cannot even stress how important it is to remain focused on the big picture. Don't think that anybody's success has come easy. It hasn't. It takes a lot of hard work, and it's not like you can rest and think that this is it. Once you've achieved something, you have to just keep moving on.
Yeah, I agree.
And be honest and true to your vision. That's also very important.
If you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yes, and also not only enjoy. I think it's also it's not that you're going to love it every minute of the day all the time, but I think in the big picture, broadly speaking, you have to really love what you do, and imagine if that gets taken out from your life, then what impact it will have. So always just be grateful and do your business honestly. I think that is also very important.
Yes. Ma'am, in 10 years from now, where do you think you'll be in life?
I don't know. When I started Theobroma, I didn't even have a 3-month plan. Everyone asked me, what was your 5-year plan? What was your 10-year plan? I don't know. Just carrying on as the days go by. I'm happy in my job, in my life. I have no complaints. So, if I'm lucky enough, I will still be cooking.
Yes, that should be the goal, to have no complaints in the end.
Yeah. And also, I think remain happy. That's very important.
Yes.
And for me, I'm happy when I'm in the kitchen. So if I can still be in the kitchen in 10 years, I'll be happy.
And ma'am, apart from work, of course your work is something you enjoy, but apart from work, it's just eventually it's just a part of our life. Business is just a small part of our life. Apart from that, what are the things you enjoy apart from being in the kitchen and running a company?
I love being a mom to my daughter. I think that is a big blessing in my life. I love traveling with my family, and I love running. So these are the things that I'm most passionate about.
It's important to have those things, which are
absolutely.
Obviously, work does get stressful. I know it is what you enjoy and what you wanted. It is your dream job, but it obviously everything has its ups and downs, and
absolutely,
it's very necessary to have that escape from work. So
you must do some.
Always happy.
You must do other things which will kind of balance out your work life, and also things that give you happiness for yourself. That is important. Yes. And for me, that is running. So
it of course with all the yummy goodies, it helps.
I have to work off all the calories, right?
Yes. So thank you so much, ma'am, for joining me today. It was an absolute honor interviewing you, because I really look up to you, and I really admire the fact that you really stood true to that statement, that you took something you enjoyed and you made a life out of it.
Thank you, Pratna. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best. I really hope you enjoy the book. Thank you for interviewing me. And I really hope all your dreams come true. So thank you
so much, ma'am. That means so much to me. Thank you.